I'm actually surprised more people aren't talking about this, but do you guys remember Burning Lands? Yes, that first-person shooter game made by previous developers of Squad, who had left the studio to make their own game set in the Vietnam War. It looked pretty good until everything came crashing down halfway through their Kickstarter campaign when nearly the entire development team abandoned the project and then also filed a DMCA strike against the studio founder, alleging that they were never paid and all of the material being shown in the Kickstarter campaign wasn't actually his property. There was a lot of content creators that covered this. It was a big deal for a while. But now there's an even bigger development, although I would say at this point the project is pretty dead, but man, if you thought it was dead before, it is extra dead now, because the founder of the studio, the individual known as Chance Bruh, is in jail. You heard that correct. This man is in prison. I am not making this up. But before we go into the juicy details of how and why the founding member of the Burning Lands project is in jail, I want to talk about a project that actually seems to be thriving that you should probably go check out and who have kindly sponsored this video. StallCraft X is an innovative online multiplayer game that combines the thrill of first-person shooting with the depth of role-playing elements, all set in the hauntingly atmospheric Chernobyl exclusion zone. And one of the coolest things about this is a game that's available right now. You don't have to wait for this to release. You can go play it for free using my link below. Whether you're hunting mutants, searching for valuable artifacts, or engaging in faction wars, StallCraft X offers a diverse range of activities that cater both to PvE and PvP players. Plus, with its unique open economy and equipment-based progression system, you can play the game your way without the grind of traditional leveling. What makes StallCraft X truly stand out is its dynamic and living open world. Every encounter is unique, and the community-driven interactions add a layer of unpredictability and excitement to each session. The game is free to play, with a fair monetization model that ensures you can enjoy all of these aspects without pay-to-win mechanics. So, if you're looking for a fresh gaming experience that blends fast-paced action with strategic depth, use my code and get the game using the link below. Now, I'm sure many of you are wondering the reasons why the founding member of Burning Lands is currently in jail, and you might think it's because of scamming his players or stealing intellectual property from his developers that filed a lawsuit against him. But no, it's actually none of those. And the reason, allegedly, for his incarceration is for assaulting 2 women. Oh yeah, that's right. And I'm going to be honest, I was on the fence as to whether I should make this video or not. But I really think that I should, because this is a great example of a much more disturbing trend that I've noticed in the indie game development space. There are a lot of content creators on this platform that seem to really focus on making hit pieces about developers that charge too much money for their games, or create a game and put it up on Steam before it's ready, or even promoting a game and doing a crowdfunding campaign and not making that game. Those people are what I would like to call standard, typical scammers. But there's another tier in the industry that, for whatever reason, people don't talk about as much, and I really think they should. And this other tier of developer isn't just your standard scammer. These are actual criminals. And there is a disturbingly larger percentage of them in the industry working with jobs to this day after doing horrific things. And they don't seem to get the press that other developers get for what I would consider, still bad offenses, but not nearly as bad as actually assaulting people or doing actual crimes. Now, Chance Bruh, the founder of Burning Lands, was actually a developer employed by Offworld Industries for years. And Offworld Industries used to have a number of individuals very similar to Chance who were just awful people. Now, luckily, more recently, especially ever since the Tencent acquisition, there has seemingly been a pretty big purge of those people out of Off-World Industries. So I cannot do anything but give Off-World Industries at least some credit for cleaning house. And Chance was one of those individuals that was cleaned out of that house. But as we saw with Burning Lands, when you get rid of these people from larger companies, they don't just stop existing. They go elsewhere and they will set up websites and they will start taking in money and they will continue their operations, no matter the problems that they have, either mentally or otherwise. And I think that this situation with Burning Lands is an excellent example of that. There are lots of people who I have met in the industry, way more than there should be, who have very disturbing backgrounds and then who go on to commit crimes and get arrested and go to jail. And the red flags are there. By golly, they are there. But for whatever reason, if the game looks good enough, and if the screenshots are nice, and if the gameplay is nice, influencers seem to give those people a pass. I've done a number of different videos on game developers that were hiring Nazis, people who were just openly Nazi, openly promoting genocide. One of the more recent videos that I did was talking about the developers from 83 and how a number of their developers were posting bomb threats and threatening family members of influencers that were covering the game negatively. These are things that have been confirmed, that are out there, but you'll notice nobody else seems to cover it. In fact, after I dropped that video, there was a number of influencers that were promoting the game and actually trying to get people excited about it, even though they knew about the death threats that their team members were making towards other people. And now you have this issue with Burning Lands, where this individual who had these warning signs for years, who was still hired and given a lot of money by both other studios who hired him and players that continued pre-ordering this game even after the Kickstarter fiasco, because they still had $150 packages up for sale on their website, despite all of the warning signs. That is where all of this leads, where now you have this individual in jail for assault. And the only reason I want to make this video is to hopefully inform people that when you support studios that behave like this, this is where it leads. Because Burning Lands might be dead. I feel like this project is done for. But there are still other projects, like the 83 project, that has individuals on the team that are putting out bomb threats and doxing family members of other people. And if everyone is going to let that slide, I haven't seen a single other person make a video about that. A single one. The more that the community, the first-person shooter community, lets people like that get away with that behavior, they're going to do it again, and it's going to be worse. So, I can only hope, if you're watching this video, please start holding not just these people to a higher standard, not just the developers behind these games to a higher standard, but start holding the influencers that cover these games to a higher standard. Start holding their community members to a higher standard, because you've got a lot of people out there that they don't care if somebody's a criminal. They don't care if there's victims behind the development of this game. They just want pretty screenshots so they can make ad revenue by making videos about something and hyping up some new project. And it's becoming a problem, because there really are some horrible people out there that you're never going to see their face. You're never going to know who they are, because they operate in the background. They're not YouTubers. They're not streamers like I am. Love me or hate me, you know who I am. But people like the founder of Burning Lands, you don't know who this is. But he is still getting all of that money. You are still supporting his cause. You are supporting his habits, even if those habits are criminal. And that's why I think everybody needs to be way more mindful about the projects that they're supporting beyond, does it look good? Because that seems to be the vibe nowadays. Does the game look good? Well, then who cares who makes it or how it gets made? I'm gonna promote it. But then this stuff happens. Something to think about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to stick around, make sure you press that subscribe button. And if anything, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.